It's not exactly a deep, dark secret that I have absolutely no sense of direction. I've been this way my whole life, as my family will readily attest. When we first moved to Hawaii, I was in 4th grade, and I walked to school with my brother, who was 2 years ahead of me. The next fall, when he was starting 7th grade, he began attending a private school on the other side of the island while I continued at our local public school. We had never gone to different schools before. The night before classes were set to start, he told my mom that he was really worried. He wasn't nervous about starting at a new school, though. He was worried that I would never find my way to school and back by my son. True story. And sometimes it's nice to have a big brother. Perhaps because I am so directionally challenged, I grew up fascinated by the stories I heard of ancient Polynesians sailing unbelievable distances over open ocean without any of the navigation devices that most of us would consider essential. We moved to Hawaii only a few years after the initial voyage of the Hokulea, a canoe that was sailed all the way from Hawaii to Tahiti using only traditional wayfinding techniques. Along with so much of Polynesian culture, the ability to make and sail these canoes had nearly gone extinct. But thanks to the hard work and courage of a team of people with a shared vision and a deep respect for the past, the Hokulea helped usher in a new era of interest in Hawaiian wayfinding and so much more. It's been said that the Hokulea is more than a canoe. She represents the common desire shared by the people of Hawaii, the Pacific, and the world to protect our most cherished values and places from disappearing. Hokulea, by the way, means star of gladness. Traditional wayfinders use natural cues like the location of the sun, cloud formations, the presence or absence of certain arteries, and the appearance of waves to make their way across the Pacific, a breathtaking feat. Their other primary navigational tool is a mental map of the night sky. Pamela Dolan explains, the star compass is the basic mental construct for navigation. If you can identify the stars as they rise and set, and if you have memorized where they rise and set, you can find your direction. For someone like me, the whole idea of navigating this way sounds like magic. Which brings us at last to the wise men featured in today's gospel. As best we can tell, they were astrologers trained in reading portents in the sky, but also probably mathematicians with a deep knowledge of the natural world. We call them magi in deference to the Greek term magos, which according to one lexicon can refer to teachers, priests, physicians, astrologers, seers, soothsayers, or sorcerers. It is, of course, the same word that is at the root of our English word, magic. Like I said, there's something magical about using nothing but the stars to find you a way across vast distances. We celebrate these three wise stargazers every year at the end of the Christmas season as we enter into Epiphany. Now, despite how much I love the hymn, We Three Camels, I have to be honest and say that we don't really know how many of them there were, whether they were kings at all, or even if they were all men. We do know that Matthew's gospel goes to great pains to code them as strangers, as aliens. They came from afar, and they used what they had learned from nature to gain an almost supernatural level of knowledge and wisdom. King Herod was not the only person frightened by that. These wise stargazers bring an element of foreign intrigue, but also of wonder, to our Christmas stories. They are a distinct contrast to the shepherds, who would have been from the lowest and most common part of society. There is nothing more earthbound than a shepherd, whereas these wise ones seem to have mastered the mysteries of the heavens and are even able to interpret dreams. Foreigners though they are the kinds of people who are accustomed to going straight to the center of power, talking to the people in charge. This is a potent reminder that Jesus came that Christmas for everyone, not just for the politically powerful or the religious insiders. Shepherds and scholars, day laborers and educational elites were equally enthralled by his birth, and many were able to see in him the dawning of a new era, a light that would bring light to all people and change everything for all time. Now, it's pretty much a cliche at this point to say that the spiritual life is a journey, but it's a cliche for a reason. It contains more than a love truth. As we enter into the season and the spirit of Epiphany, it is good to remember the adventuring spirit of the wise stargazers. Much like Pacific Island wayfarers, they used all the knowledge and wisdom they had accumulated to set out into the unknown, following a star of gladness. And it turned out that the world God created already provided them with everything they needed to complete the journey, including a dream that helped them escape the plotting of a murderous tyrant. Truth be told, though, most of us probably won't find our spiritual journeys to be as simple as following a single star to our destination. There will be twists and turns and dead ends, and likely many times when we feel like we have no idea what we're doing. And actually, that not knowing feeling may itself be the beginning of wisdom. It is precisely in those times of uncertainty and doubt that we need our faith the most, and conversely, it is when we are most likely to find it. For me, what you might call my faith journey has often felt more like the pilgrimage walk that I took a couple of summers ago, when it was too much to think about exactly how I would get where I was going over the long haul. And so most of the time I just focused on getting from one waypost to the next. Those little signs with pilgrim shells or the symbol for St. Cuthbert almost always appeared when we needed them most. And if one of us pilgrims missed a marker and took off down the wrong path, someone else would be able to find it for us and eventually guide us all back to where we needed to be. Pilgrimages remind us that we are never on the journey alone. Even if it's a solitary walk, others have gone ahead and marked the path for us, and still others will come along who will walk beside us and help us find our own way. As it says in Psalm 84, "Happy are the people whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on the pilgrim's way." Perhaps most of all, Epiphany is an invitation to go out searching for God in unexpected places and to follow Jesus wherever we might find him. It's important that we not be so afraid of getting lost that we don't venture out beyond our comfort zones. When we stay in the safety of the shallows, risking little, we are unlikely to experience the inspiration and courage that we need to keep moving and growing. Deep down, I think we all know that we learn so much more from following the stars and the signs that God sets in our path, even if we don't know exactly where they're taking us. So I pray that this year and always, We at St. Martin's will be on the lookout for the star of gladness and follow wherever it leads. Amen.